Welcome to this episode of Decentralized Now. I am Busted. As always, I am here with Chemtrail. Now, normally we like to start these shows with something funny to get you guys laughing. But, man, today we have a topic that's just not a funny topic. It's
not at all.
Not even a little. There's a lot of sadness in this country right now.
It's true.
A lot of racial injustice in this country right now. Would you agree, Chemtrail?
I'd agree. And, here at Decentralized Now, we're in Season 3. We've merged with Murder the Media. And everyone's pretty much on the same board. We, as a media company, can no longer be silent on what's happening. So we have to take a voice. We cannot allow this racial injustice to continue. And we've gotten together and we've made an action. Okay, because talk is cheap. We've made an action. And what Busted has to share with you, I'm pretty excited about myself.
So what Chemtrail is referring to is we've put together a bit of a public service announcement, if you will.
It's true.
To address some of these issues going on in our country. And I'm going to play that now. Please enjoy and pay attention. It's important.
It's important.
Here at Decentralized Now and Murder the Media, we recognize that hate simply has no place on the internet. The internet should be a safe and inviting place for everyone to post as freely as they like, without receiving a challenge from anyone at all. It's our commitment to completely eradicating this natural human emotion that has led us to denounce the firing of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben simply for the color of their race. We affirm the old adage that people should be judged by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. We are pleased to announce, after several meetings with anti-racist activist Nick DiCarlo, Children's Trauma Counselor Vil, and Jews for Judaism co-chair Pierce, that Decentralized Now is hiring Uncle Ben and Uncle Ben's Rice as the official rice of Decentralized Now. These rices are from an all-natural blend, as diverse as America should be. Thank you, Uncle Ben, for all you've done, and we look forward to great things in the future.
Well, I hope we all learned something together today, and I hope your eyes are just a little more open to the injustices going on to old black people that push rice companies in this country. It's
never
outrageous.
again.
Never again. I don't even know what syrup to buy anymore.
No, never again.
It's a goddamn shame. These people are being fired from their jobs for the color of their skin. It's ridiculous. It's unfortunate.
What else do you have to talk about?
So, I had this kind of this thought the other day, right? So, if you guys have been following our podcast specifically, we had a guy on, and I'm sorry I meant to bring this up a little earlier. We had a guy on in Season 2 from Uganda. He's a Ugandan libertarian. I mean, the dude was literally risking his life to fucking talk to us, man. I mean,
yeah.
they do not... You get caught talking about, free people, free markets in Uganda... You go to fucking prison, Jack. There ain't no fucking around. They will throw you in jail. And when we had him on the show, we at the end of the program, we said, how can people help you? What can people do to help your cause, to help your movement? Can we send money? And he didn't say no to the money, but what he actually asked for was books. He wanted books. He wanted information. He wanted things to help spread a libertarian message in his country, because the information in his country is tainted. The flow of information is restricted. You can't just freely talk about whatever you want to. And it got me thinking, are we heading to a situation in this country where information will eventually be worth more than actual money? They're already tearing down statues. They're already deleting YouTube channels and media channels where people who present news in such a way that they don't like, they're getting rid of all that. I mean, we are literally in the middle of a book burning in this country. And it got me thinking, eventually, I mean, if these fucking socialists fucking take over, if they get their way, information is essentially going to be worth more than money. And it was just kind of scary to me to think that in America, we could be heading towards a future that Uganda already has, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a characteristic of regimes across the world is controlling information. You know, I would say that that's already happening here, and it's very interesting the way that they've done that. I'm reading a book by Kevin MacDonald called Culture of Critique, and he talks a lot about that in the preface, about the way that certain types of people who want to control you will control your access to information. And you previously information came from, or your culture came from your churches and your military complex. But now information mostly comes through media. With the invention of the radio and with the invention of television, now you have access to everyone's mind inside their home, and that's why there's a war for media and that type of control. So any kind of media, any kind of comedy, any movie, any dirty video game that challenges certain ideas that are difficult for the state or difficult for a group that's trying to take power, it's very important that those ideas get pushed away. And that's what's happening around the world. If you look at Europe as an example, you can go to jail for sharing memes. Our friend from Uganda literally risked prison to speak with us. So information is definitely something that they want to control. What we've had in the United States is we've had the First Amendment, quote unquote, as at least a token, as at least a notion for freedom of speech. So the state, by and large, has had a difficult time restricting speech. But the way they get around it is they'll shame a corporation for hosting something. So, as an example, YouTube, they'll shame YouTube or attack YouTube for hosting a particular type of content. And in response to that market pressure, YouTube will then do the censorship for the group that wants to take power.
Well, we've even had our stuff censored on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. YouTube has gotten really bad, dude. I think the time of YouTube is almost over. I mean, because we put these episodes, we're going to be putting these episodes on YouTube. I've been waiting to make sure people come over and watch the show live, because you should watch the show live. You should join Murder the Media. You should watch all the fucking awesome programs on here. But we had one where we talked about Judaism and the difference between, the Jews of the Bible and the Jews of today. We talked about Israel a lot. And it was a very professional, very civil conversation. It was not a bunch of, just like, God damn these motherfuckers. Like, it was a really well thought out conversation. And they couldn't wait to fucking take it off.
Right.
Cue the stuff we're talking about on here now, and we got video on top of that with, stuff like we got video playing of the things we're actually talking about. Dude, we're not going to last on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, get over to fucking DLive, like right now.
Yeah, we won't last at all. No, what was interesting is that they have an algorithm where they can detect the sound waves, and they're looking for particular words that they find troublesome, so they can review it and ban speech. So kind of like what I was saying, because the United States has the First Amendment, these groups are having a difficult time doing it through the government, although that does happen. But they're mostly doing it through private corporations by shaming them. So it's very important for them to find particular ideas or concepts and label them as dangerous. If you think this type of way, you are a danger, and if you host this content, then you are aiding them. So they'll use market pressures to force companies in the private sector to do that same type of thing. So that's what they're doing with YouTube for a long time. So if you really care about content, like if you like, I don't know, like the Daily Stormer did this, if you like Alex Jones or whoever it is that you like, what you need to do is download the content so you have a physical copy. As an example, the Daily Stormer did this. They've actually taken all of their articles, because they're primarily a text and image-based platform, and they've downloaded it into a Microsoft Word document. So, and they've printed it. So no matter what they try to do, no matter how they try to and the Daily Stormer is the most censored publication in human history.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're a libertarian and you don't support at least the right of the Daily Stormer to exist and communicate their ideas, you don't support free speech. So the Daily Stormer has taken it to actually creating like a physical copy of their information so that they might survive all of the censorship that comes their way. So Yeah, it's absolutely a characteristic of any kind of regime or group that wants control to limit speech and to have it eradicated. So, yeah,
I feel like people used to be really good about that. I mean, it's not like new news that fucking YouTube censors its fucking content, you know? And people used to be really good about putting videos up and being like, hey, download this and repost it, because they knew it was going to get fucking eliminated.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
and people used to be very good at getting around those fucking firewalls, I guess. And, I don't know, man. It's just getting it's getting more difficult. It's becoming.
Here's the problem, though. So what was so great about 2016 is that normies and intellectuals, kind of like Spurgs or whatever, they were all using the same platform. They were all using Facebook. So in 2016, 2014, 2016, these types of people were interacting. So your regular normie guy or girl, whoever, is on Facebook, and all of a sudden people are throwing like anarcho-primitivist memes their way. So people, like normal people, were interacting with ideas they were not supposed to hear. And that's what happened in 2016. Information that people were not supposed to have, things people were not supposed to hear, got into the normie space. And I think that's why we had this sort of right-wing cultural revolution, all this information that is trying to be suppressed. Like, your gender is real. There are two genders. Your race is real. The state harms economics as opposed to helping it. All that information is now, being unleashed through Facebook and Twitter. So they've had to make it so they can completely ban that type of speech. So here's the problem. So yes, the libertarian says, well, the market will provide. People can go to Gab. People can go to all these little intellectual ghettos. But the problem with that is normies aren't there. So it's like an echo chamber. So it's like, here's a little space for you on the internet, where you and your like Spurg friends can just like each other's shit and share each other's memes, but it's preaching to the choir. So yeah. I think it's an interesting question. Should these channels be regulated by the government in order to protect free speech, or does the channel have the right to delete and remove whatever content they have? Because the sweet spot was that there was at one time on the internet a space where normies and intellectuals were like bumping into each other. And that's where real conversations have happened. They've completely scrubbed Facebook. If you try to post particular memes, Facebook will block it or particular links. So yes, the market has provided in the sense that you have Gab and you have these little places where you can communicate. It's not the same because it's a little cultural ghetto. So what do you think about that? Do you think that the state should regulate the market or regulate these platforms, or are they well within their rights to scrub it?
Well, I mean, that's the discussion, right? I mean, anytime the government gets involved, it's not good. And I don't believe that censorship will go away if the government gets involved. It's just the things that they censor will most likely change, you know? I don't think a government getting involved in anyone's business is the answer. But that doesn't mean because you own a library, you burn the Harry Potter books because you don't like them, you know? I don't know. I don't really know that I have a good answer for you on that. I definitely don't want government involved.
I think that I think this is what I think. I think that it's unfortunate that Facebook and Twitter have responded to those market pressures, Goyim, and have made it so that they're controlling speech. But I think if you get the government involved, like we have this idea that the government is going to support right wingers. It's not going to happen. No. Like it is literally the state that is the mechanism that is being used to hurt our people, right? So we don't want them having that. We don't want them having the power to control speech. So while it's unfortunate that Facebook and YouTube have reacted to market pressures, there are these intellectual ghettos, and I think that we're seeing a renaissance of people fleeing, like Joe Rogan. It's gotten so ridiculous. Joe Rogan moving to Spotify, PewDiePie moving to DLive. There is an exodus. So I think people are hungry for ideas, and they will leave and find these other channels. So I don't think that getting the state involved with these private platforms is going to do anything else but just like continue to screw us over again.
Absolutely.
Like I'll leave it with this. Can you imagine if Joe Biden wins and then the government has the power to regulate Twitter? Like, fuck. Anyway, go ahead. I've been rambling too long.
I was just saying, Wolfgang in the chat, he said that the free market has failed us time and time again. Freedom and liberty are no longer austere versions, and it's been used against us time and time again to the fullest extent.
Wrong.
Can you explain?
Well, you know what? Put some information there. But what's your next bit, Busted? What's your next bit?
Actually, let's take a quick commercial break and come right back.
Sure.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop out and stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder if he did it. Damn right, can I do it again? Yeah, I am like, so I got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I'll break who you sending me. You motherfuckers never wanna know what your life saved. Bitch, and that's on a life day, I'm getting down, down. Make a nigga sit freeze. But won't be the one ending up on his knees, bitch, please. Cause the only thing you can't steal but came out to play. Stay out my way, motherfucker. Gonna rock, then we gonna roll. Then we let it pop, don't let it go. X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you.
All right, welcome back. Now, we are moving right along at the time. I actually had we're just gonna keep going. I actually had a kind of funny video clip I was gonna show you. I think it's relevant. I think we can talk on it a little bit. So
Yeah, go ahead.
let's see here.
X gon' give it to you.
Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see here.
While he's getting that ready, if you're watching, I'm going to give a shout out to a new subscriber, a new follower of Murder the Media. His name is Ancap Kermit, all the way from down in Brazil. Ancap Kermit, if you can hear us, hello, and thanks for watching. And he got in hold of us with our Discord. So at the end of this program, if you want to talk with us more, even if you want to debate, you think what we have to say is bullshit, whatever, get in our Discord. We're there all the time. We're always fucking around. Follow us on Facebook. That's probably the best way to find out where we're at. So just go to Facebook, type in Decentralized Now Podcast, and you'll find all the links to our Breaker, our YouTube, our Discord. And make sure to subscribe and follow.
And check out the Patreon page. We need money. Give us money. Patreon.com/decentralized now. All right. Do you still have
Was that video not working?
Do you still have sync video pulled up?
I do. Why don't you go ahead?
You ready?
Ready, go ahead.
All right. Here we go.
Danielle Perez, come on down. 674.
Oh, nice to see you. What's going on?
I'm so excited right now.
I thought you'd never get up here, man. You were close a couple times.
Yeah, I was so close.
George, what do we got for?
Couple of prizes, Danielle. We've got a treadmill and a noose.
Oop, shit. Oh, come on, damn it, phone. Sorry, my phone fucked up. Yeah, I thought that was it's a funny little bit. It's a stupid little video. But would it have been worse if they changed the prize because she's in a wheelchair to something besides?
Yeah. You can't assume just because someone doesn't have legs that they don't want a treadmill. They might like crawl. You know what? Actually, because I used to do CrossFit, crawling is actually great for your abs. if she was able to get on that and just go,
oh my god, I would do
great for
anything
your
to
abs.
see a fucking commercial, fucking pushing treadmills for people in wheelchairs under the pretense that like you crawl, just crawl, get a fucking upper core workout, work
it's
those
not a
arms
walk-
out.
It's a crawler, and you got to work with what you got. And if you can crawl, you like your abs are going to be incredible. But yeah, I agree. It's discriminatory to assume that someone without legs doesn't want a treadmill. They can sell it. The possibilities are endless. So yeah, they made the right call. But you know what? Speaking of game shows, I have a little game show for you myself.
You have a game show?
Yeah, you mind if I talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, talk. I didn't know you had a game show, dude. How have I not heard
dear listener, you're probably aware of pornography. Like there's a lot of pornography, right? A lot of pornography out there. They have come out with a lot of pornography since the 90s. And one thing that I've noticed about pornography is that it's always very specific. Like it's not general. You know what I mean? It's always very specific. Like it's never like naked woman has sex with man. Like, that's never the title. It's always something very specific and very lewd. Like, I'm just going to look up some porn right now. Fucking my roommate's girlfriend in the ass until she gets body-shaking orgasm on her birthday.
On her birthday.
Teen Maid.
Does it say
On her birthday. Teen Maid, very first time fucking her tight asshole made me great. Unexpected
God.
white girl threesome at a barbecue. Like, it's very specific.
Unexpected.
It's very specific. And I'm going somewhere with this, guys. And on these websites, there are categories. Like, I didn't even plan that. That's all just shit that's just like, boom, popped up. There are categories where you can choose, like, any kind of degenerate filth that you want to watch. And it's very specific. It's like, it's not just like white girls. It's like you can watch English, Italian, French. It's like everything is on tap and easily acceptable. But if you notice, on these sites, there's never a Jewish category of pornography. Have you ever noticed that?
Well,
Like,
I've honestly never looked up Jew porn, but
it's never there.
I've never seen it pop up. I've never seen it advertised.
It's never there. There's no, like, Jude.com. You know what I mean? Or site. Like, it's never there. There's every other category but Jew porn. Like, why is that?
Jewsfuck.com, Jewsbonedown.org.
You know what I mean?
Backslash.
So why is this? Let's think about it. Well, is it because Jewish women aren't attractive? Maybe there's just no man out there that wants to watch a Jewish woman.
I think the nose prevents them from going like all the way down.
It's just a bad camera angle. It's just business. You know what I mean? They're not good. Like, certain positions, you get a big nostril in the lens, and it's not. No, but seriously though, there are interracial marriages with Jews all the time. So men are sometimes attracted to Jewish women. So it's not because men aren't attracted to Jewish women. Why is it? Why is it that there's no, with all of the specific types of porn, with the plethora of porn out there, why is there no Jewish porn? What do you think? Well, I'll tell you
Their
what.
dicks are
I've
too
done
small.
the work.
Or maybe like,
do
do they have curls off the sides of their dicks, like just like the fake curls, like under their hats?
You
think
know,
like
I
they
never
do that
know.
with their pube hairs? Fucking like.
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. I came up with a little game, and I think it's going to solve our problem. So why don't you go ahead and introduce it?
All right. So.
Now remember to remember that's fucking desktop audio 2 for the name of the game. Let me know when we're good.
All right, we are now in the name game.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the name game, decentralized now exclusive, where we're going to research the last names of people who own all the pornographic channels. And as you can see, it's a contest. So at this point in time, it's anybody's game. No one is on the board. I'm just going to introduce you to our contestants today. We have over here to the right the English. In the middle we have the Jewish people in the middle. On the left we have the Russia or the USSR. The Japanese have made it to our game. The Sudanese, and to the left Mexico, the Mexicans. So what we're going to do is live on the air research the last names of people who own large pornographic companies that your kids have access to on their iPhones. And for every member of the race who owns the company that we find, we're going to ascribe a point. So as you can see, we're going into this completely open-minded. There are no points assigned on the board. And, what are your... I don't know if you can speak, Busted, but what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts going into this match?
I think the Jews are going to have more than I think they are, and I think maybe the USSR there. I think maybe a little at the USSR,
Russian porn?
and then if we do some bestiality, I'm going to go with Mexico because I don't see them having as many problems with that. Now, the cool thing about this game, guys, is you get to participate. You donate a diamond, and you put in a name, and we will research that porn company live on the air right now. You can help us out here. So donate them diamonds and drop some names. And let's we're good to go whenever you are there, Chemtrail. Let's go on with the name
ladies
game.
and gentlemen. If you donate a lemon, a ice cream or higher, we will research the pornographic company live on the air. But just to get things started, I am researching our first contestant. By the way, first 1 to 5 wins. Blacked.com. Who owns Blacked.com? Now, Blacked.com, if you're not familiar, is a misogyny website based upon white black African men having sex with white people. So my prediction is because it's black men, it's probably the Sudanese. What do you think, Busty? Who's your take?
For black.com, who owns black.com? I'm going to go with Japan. I'm going to go with the Japanese. The Japanese.
Interesting move. Well, our researchers have found out who owns black.com, and it is, drum roll please, Mr. Greg Lansky. Greg Lansky, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can get a view of that, but that's Greg Lansky, who owns black.com, and he looks rather
Jewish. He looks rather Jewish.
So the Jews are on the board. Congratulations. We've got one for the Jews. And, best of luck to them. They're taking a lead. What are your thoughts about that, Busted?
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. Okay.
Not surprised.
Well, okay, unless we have any, and please feel free, again, to donate as we can research your favorite porn site and find out the ethnic group that owns it. We're moving on to another pornographic website. This is called Tushy. The name of this website is Tushy. It specializes in anal pornography.
Just Tushy is fucking hilarious. I wish it was like a funny website, you know?
It's just like butts.
Tushy's also, it's a funny word. Like, I totally see that as something like a kid could type in. You know what I mean? Your children have access to this shit, people. Your children have access to this shit.
We found out who owns Tushy, and it is actually Greg Lansky again. But it's the same guy. So the same guy owns both Tushy and Black.com. So we are at 2 for the Jews. They're out in a strong commanding league. Any commentary, Busted, as before we move on?
I wasn't expecting it to be the same guy, so yeah, it was shocking.
All right.
I guess I shouldn't be laughing. This is actually horrible.
Well, we're now going, and remember, none of these websites have a Jewish-themed videos or Jewish categories, but we're researching why that is now. So now what I've done, and this is a very popular website that I've pulled up. It's called Pornhub. Pornhub is probably one of the premier pornographic websites on the internet.
Just want to say, ANCAP Kermit, I got to give you a shout out. Make men great again. Stop watching porn.
Thank you very much, ANCAP Kermit. So, who owns Pornhub.com? Well, it looks like Pornhub, and I'm just researching this now, is owned by a company called MindGeek. So, I am going to have to research who owns MindGeek. Just one moment. Here we go. MindGeek is owned by a couple people, Feroz Antoon and David Marmestein. David Marmestein and Fortune. I'm going to Google. That's the third. So, MindGeek owns Pornhub and Marmestein owns MindGeek. MindGeek owns Pornhub. Okay. So that is 3 for the Jewish people.
Is anyone else gonna get a fucking mark on the board?
I'll tell you what.
This
I had my money on the Sudanese, some good old Islamic pornography, but none of it's showing.
What about? Hold on. Let me pick one. Yeah,
you go ahead.
What about PornTube? Who owns PornTube?
PornTube. All right. I didn't even know there was one called PornTube.
Well, thanks.
PornTube.
Now that doesn't scream anything about me. I've never watched porn.
PornTube. Dude, I typed in PornTube and this popped up. Adult Entertainment Broadcast Network, AEBN. While I'm researching this, can you read some chats from the chat? What are people saying in there?
Sure. Let me hop in on the chat here. Let's see. Hot ass Jew confirmed. All right. They realize what's this? Because they run the porn industry. Okay. Hot ass Jews confirmed. They realize that porn's bad, so they won't subject their community to it. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Pull up some niche Jew porn.
Niche Jew porn.
Fuck Ron Jeremy. It's always the Jews. ANCAP says, "Hey niggers." Porn was made by the Jews to rule the world and make weak men. I don't disagree with that at all. You're not going to get any pushback from me on that.
Well, we'll have a conversation about that. Like I said, guys, the research isn't over yet, so the Jews haven't made it to 5 strikes. So, PornTube is owned by, I found out, the Adult Entertainment Broadcast Network.
Interesting.
And it is not giving me the name. It was formed in 1999. It's headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. offering over 100,000 titles. It was a merger from NakedSword.com, and it was a strong name in the gay market. It's interesting that this is your selection.
Well, I love watching gay stuff.
Okay, it was owned by J.D. Heinz. So I'm going to research Heinz. Heinz could be German. We don't know. Maybe the Germans are going to come in and make a...
an outside source.
An outside source. Like, it's almost like a paint map, like dropping in from the top. That Heinz can be German, but can also be Yiddish. So as a technicality, because the Germans aren't on here, I'm just going to give that one to the Jews as well. So, stunning 4-0 lead. 4-0 lead for the Jewish people. Well deserved. Any thoughts? Any commentary?
Guys, the Jews already have 4. Donate an ice cream. Give me an ice cream. Give me a name. You guys get involved too. Let's do this together.
All right. So the last one I'm going to research, unless we have any contenders, is Family Strokes. Family Strokes. That's actually extremely popular. Family Strokes is about people having sex with their stepsisters, stepmothers, and stepfathers, which is like strangely prevalent on websites now because people are at home in quarantine or they're with their family members, like usual. They'll be saying who owns. Okay, so who owns Family Strokes? Let's take a look here. Let's Family Stroke. That is also owned by the same guy, Greg Lansky.
Jesus Christ.
Greg Lansky, triple play, Jews total victory, 5 out of 0. Great job, Jewish people. Basically, this is Chemtrail's pick. I'm going to say that the MVP was Greg Lansky. Greg Lansky came into this game with a real commitment to victory, and he saw all the way to the end. So, great job to you, Greg Lansky. Buster, what are your thoughts?
He put the effort in. He got those people out there laying that pipe. I mean, he did the work. He did the work. Good for him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you very much for watching the name game. And I believe that you're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll hear from you soon.
Quick commercial break!
Give us the lemons, or else my mom is threatening to kick me out of the basement. And I think she's serious this time, because I'm like 2 months behind on rent, and I just put in an application at a Wendy's, but I haven't heard back from them. So I don't know. If you can give me like an ice cream or something, I'd appreciate it. Wait, what? Mom, no, I'm recording. Yeah, it's Murder the Media. I got friends now. Murder the Media, Mom. I have friends. They're on the internet. Yeah, there's a guy named Dick, and he's really good at computers, and he's teaching me stuff about computers on the internet. I got friends now, and I'm gonna be on the internet, and they're gonna give me money. It's gonna work. I need the lemons. I'm not getting back. I'm not going back to my dad's house. Not after what he did to my fridge. So you gotta help me.
All right, welcome back to Decentralized now. Now, something I kind of wanted to touch on. It's something that I feel like everyone's been talking about. Is the fucking COVID shit, man. So, where I live is very heavily. It's a big tourist area, man. There's like all this fucking dumb shit to see, and people fucking, oh my god, picture. Fucking, they love the shit. They come down here for all the fucking the little bullshit. Well, we closed down for COVID, okay? We completely shut down, no one in, no one out. You stay here. It wasn't a complete lockdown, you could still go out and do shit. But we closed everything down, we closed down the restaurants and shit. Well, since it's a high tourist area, the people who own houses down here started bitching because they weren't able to get to their houses. And I understand that. They own the property, it's their property, they have right to their property. But we were in lockdown, so they couldn't get here. They quickly caved on that. We opened back up. They came down. Well, because they opened up the area, they were doing you have to wear a mask. You have to wear a mask if you go out. They weren't really enforcing it, but they were saying you have to. And the people that came in from out of town, from not in the area, started bitching about the mask. So they got rid of it. fuck it, fine. You guys don't like it? Whatever. Because this is all this pandemic. That's all this pandemic is a panderdemic. It's bullshit. They're just pandering to people. So they come down here. We open up a little more. People start coming in for vacation and shit. Now they are enforcing masks. They have changed the rule completely, just in this last week, to actually enforce wearing a mask, which I have not been following. Well, I guess a lot of people were upset about it. They are saying that you can be fined $500. If they catch you wearing a mask and someone calls the cops about you, the cops will come up and either arrest you or give you a citation for $500. $500, man. That is fucking bullshit, dude. How can a hardworking person supporting kids, supporting a family, car payment, house payment, afford $500? All for this fucking bullshit notion that a mask will keep you from getting sick. I'm not wearing this because I'm worried about COVID, people. I don't want you crazy fuckers to know what I look like. But just, I don't know, man. I don't really know where to go with that.
It's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of takes that a lot of this COVID-19 thing is basically to destroy the middle class and make people very poor and dependent upon the government. You know what I mean? The government, the state is now your salvation because it's giving you your $1,200 a month. And aren't you glad that you now have them? They are the reason that you have food. Like our generation, like if society crumbles, like what are millennials going to do? They got to go start farming. You know what I mean? They're going to need the government to give them their $1,000 for their Fortnite and Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? They're screwed. They're done. So, because if you look at it, certainly small businesses have been closed. You know, Walmart hasn't been closed. Target hasn't been closed. These corporations are still making lots of money. It's the small business sector that's been hurt, and it's working people who kind of middle class people who have the means to take care of themselves. But that $500 for not complying with the mask can ruin a working family. It's just criminal. It's criminal that they're going to take $500 from someone for not wearing a mask and then cripple that family. It's insane. It's insane what they're doing.
It's this shit that's like, will you voluntarily comply? Well, no. Okay, well, then we're going to kick the shit out of you. We're going to use violence to enforce our will on you. It just doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, I think when all this shit went down, we were both like, okay, let's take it seriously. Let's stay home. Let's do what we have to. But this has been going on fucking long enough, and I think we all know it's just bullshit at this point. I don't think anyone knew what to make of it at first. But this is horse shit, okay, people? Like, I don't know. I also have this thing in my mind, like, if I choose to go out and I get sick, that's on me, what the fuck ever. But I shouldn't have to adhere to some of these fucking bullshit rules. And none of it has to do with safety. Not a bit of this shit has to do with fucking safety or keeping you from getting sick. It's also they can enforce. It's also they can steal freedoms. They can take your fucking rights away. They can extort money from you for fucking $500, dude. That's extortion. Holy fucking shit. $20 to somebody who's struggling can be a lot, dude. $500 fucking dollars. That's a car payment, motherfucker. That's ridiculous.
It is. That's a mortgage payment. That $500 could be what puts that's a mortgage payment. That could be making the difference. Someone in the chat, Wolfgang, just said that it's a power grab from the left, and it absolutely is.
Yes.
The state drastically being expanded. I think no matter where you are on the right, you can agree that things have not gotten better by the response. So one thing too that you mentioned. It's being phrased as, well, Busted, it's your responsibility to care for your community. So if you're not afraid, that's fine, but you need to comply for the greater good. As opposed to a philosophy which I would more espouse of, if you're afraid of a sickness or an illness, you need to take personal responsibility and protect yourself, not use the government, which is violence, to compel everyone in the country because you're 80 years old and you're kind of like out on the buck anyways. And by the way, this disease, I'm going to let you guys in a secret. It's the fucking flu, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's just a very contagious flu. We may not agree on that. But the idea that they're just going to shut down America because, Mark on the Shotcast said that he got COVID. And it was just like you just cough and then you just get over it. People get the flu all the time. And it's absolutely an attempt by the left to just gain large amounts of power.
And look at it, too. It's like if you get tested, so you test positive for COVID. Let's say you test positive for fucking COVID, right? Where have you been? Where have you?
I want to interrupt you for a second. Look at the gift that that blackball just put in the meme. Or in the screen.
That's great.
Yeah, anyway, sorry, man. Sorry, I just love that. Thank you very much, Pierce.
Oh, man,
By the way,
that's my favorites.
Pierce is coming on after the show. You should absolutely watch Blackballed Podcast. It's a great podcast. And radio, too. Give him your lemons. Go ahead, Busted. Sorry.
You kind of fucked up my flow there.
I did, dude. I'm sorry. It's Pierce's fault. He put the GIF in there. Anyway, I'm sorry. Fuck off.
You see that? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You're turning Democrat on the show.
Well, we were going to have a debate, actually, because believe it or not, Bust and I disagree on some things. And we were going to talk about, well, I'll let you set it up.
Okay, so I read an article basically that COVID, this whole thing is having a very detrimental mental health effect on children. And my point, if we jump right into it, so basically the lockdown, kids staying at home, things like that, is mentally fucking them up. And Chemtrail takes a different stance on me on this. I personally think if a child's having mental problems, if he's having a hard time grasping what's going on, and I do think the age of the child is a big factor in this. I think it's the parents. I think it's the parents inciting fear in the child. I think it's the parents taking this COVID thing and going nuts with it and putting that fear into their child. I think that's where the mental health concern comes from, not from the disease itself or being locked away. My child is very young. My child is very young, and they don't know that we're like on lockdown, or they don't know that anything's really different. We play with our kid all the time. We're always in the yard. Family is still coming over, and we still go to family's house. So all those like positive people in their life are still there, So I can't say that I agree with that. I think if there's any mental health problems going on in these kids, it's being put there by the parents, and I know you don't really agree with that.
This is I don't agree, because I think that, and again, let me just kind of reiterate the argument.
Yeah, see, Wolfgang gets it. It forced them to get outside and play for once, like back in the day. Exactly. I don't think it's causing mental health problems in children. I'm sorry.
I absolutely do, and here's why. I think that traditional Americans, and I mean the traditional kind of European American, has a high trust society. So people are friendly, you can trust one another, and that's the foundation for an individualist society. Because if people are people that you can trust, you don't have to fear them. You don't have to defend yourself against them. You can trust in them. You can trade with them. You can respect them with rights and things of that nature. If you do not trust your neighbors, your neighbors are out to get you, if they are terrible, well, you need to be defended, and you need a strong state to protect you and defend you. Now, having said that, so we have this culture of high trust and all that type of thing. Children at this age of whatever, when they're very young, they're very impressionable. So they're constantly taking in all this new information. And what is this social distancing demonstrating to them? Everyone around you can kill you. Everyone around you is bad. If you hug grandma, you're going to die. That kind of shit. Like to say that kind of message constantly being enforced into your kids. That like if you go to the playground and a little boy with the disease coughs on you, you might die. So make sure you play. But at a distance.
Who's telling them
let me finish. So it's teaching them that everything around them and everyone around them is out to get them. So it's going to destroy the high trust society. You cannot trust everyone around you, and thank God for the state that's going to use police officers to make sure your kid doesn't go into Little League and to make sure your kid is 6 feet away from everybody else. And if it wasn't for the government, if it wasn't for the state, you would be dead in a week. So I think it's going to destroy a high-trust society and take these little brains and morph them into slaves. I'm going to go Alex Jones on them. The state is going to protect me, and without them, going to the grocery store would kill you.
Well, what part of the government, like what part is set to go to people's houses and tell children that if they touch people, they're going to die? It's still the parents telling them that. Go ahead. I don't know what else to say except I just disagree. I mean, like I said, and maybe I'm a specific example, but my kid doesn't know the difference, and my kid isn't 8, 9, 10 years old, so maybe age is a factor in this. I started out by saying that, but I just think if there's any sort of mental problems going on in children because of the COVID shit, it's because the parents are scaring the fucking shit out of them, and they're all fucking idiot bootlicking retards anyway. They're going to be the first. All the people's kids that are fucked up because of the lockdown are the same ones that are going to run out and get the vaccine as soon as it comes out. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Like, how would this make the situation better? Like, okay, maybe not every kid is going to have a mental illness because of this, but how is that not going to affect anxiety in children? Like it's clearly going to make children not trust other people, and to say that it's not going to have effect on their education and who the people who they're going to be, I just don't see how you can be like, oh, it's not a thing. Like babies yearn to be touched. You never have to teach them to want a hug. They just want it. And they're being born into this culture that wants to separate from everything. To say that's not going to have an effect on them, I just don't see it.
You want your kid running up and hugging strangers anyway?
Not necessarily strangers, but yeah, like friends and family and things like that. And I don't want them to be afraid of it.
I've still been doing that. My family's still been doing that.
I don't want them to think that everyone around them is out to kill them. And that they need the government to protect them, or else they'll die of some crazy disease.
I don't want my kid to think that either. I think we want the same things. I think we're just in disagreement on how much it affects the child. I think it affects them as much as you tell them that it's going to affect them. I mean, like you said, a child's very impressionable. They don't know the difference unless you tell them that, like, this is fuck. You know what I mean?
I think that your job as a parent is to say, listen, yes, there is a disease. There's COVID-19. But it's nothing to be scared of, and there's a possibility you could get COVID-19. There's a possibility that if you get into an airplane, it could crash.
You could get hit by a car.
But you don't need to live every day in fear of absolutely everything around you to the point where it crushes your life. And again, I think it's just better to instill in children a sense of high trust for their community. And I think, kind of going back to the idea that this is a pandemic, I think that one of the benefits for the state is the destruction of a high-trust society.
I guess I don't disagree with that. I'm just not letting it destroy mine, I guess.
I also want to let you guys know that this segment was brought to you by our sponsor, Wild Ben's Rice. Wild Ben's is the all-natural blend of rice, as diverse as America should be. And actually, if you don't mind, Busted, I would like to share one of my recipes.
Oh, please. Oh, my God. Yes. I mean, we should, right? I mean, they're the official rice.
I just dropped the rice everywhere. Fuck. No big deal. I got some still. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to pour the brand that I got. This is the long grain and wild rice, Uncle Ben's. It's got a nice sound to it. Comes with a little flavor packet, but I don't use that. Next thing that I'll do, and I bought this before the show, is I bought some milk. Got in a little mug here, and basically what I like to do is just pour. I don't know if you can get an image of this. Oh shit, dude! If I spill that on my computer, I'm gonna be so pissed. I just pour a little bit of that beautiful milk. I don't know if can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear it?
That sounds delicious.
Can you hear that?
That sounds delicious.
It is. I pour a little bit of milk in there, and basically you're good to go. You got your rice, you got your milk. Everything is fucking good to go. You kind of mix it. Basically, you're just going to want to give that Wild Ben's rice a good mix. And then you got yourself a meal. So this segment was brought to you by Uncle Ben's Rice, the official rice. Decentralized now.
How's that taste?
Oh, it's great.
It looks delicious. Can you hear it? Oh, it sounds beautiful.
It sounds better than it tastes. Let me kind of put it in here.
It's great for breakfast. The Asians have actually been eating rice this way for
they're coming up with great stuff all the time.
Generations. It's amazing.
Generations.
Uncle Ben's Rice, the official rice of Decentralized Now. Well, man, it is 10:52. There is the Blackballed podcast coming on next, I believe.
I can't wait.
You guys should stick around for that. It's a fucking dope show. He does Blackballed Radio afterwards. He's up all night fucking doing the shit. All for you. Very entertaining. Great stuff. Great stuff here on Murder the Media. Like Decentralized Now, which is why you should subscribe and donate money. Lots of money. Check out the Patreon page. We have a Patreon page. If you want to help us out further, you can go there. Donate some money. There's some great perks on Discord. You can get a t-shirt. You can get a
Well, I want to talk
Decentralized Now
about that.
t-shirt.
Unironically, we had some great models who worked with us, and we've got more coming in. We've got 2 basic designs: our Decentralized Now T-shirt and a Jeffrey Epstein Didn't Kill Himself T-shirt. They're $20. So if you want one of these T-shirts, just send an email to decentralizednowpodcast@protonmail.com. Decentralizednowpodcast@protonmail.com. Give us your size. We'll contact you, work out the details. But basically, just make sure you go to our Facebook, and you can see pictures of them and all the cool shit that we do. We're about to show a video, but
Look at this
oh,
woman.
what's that?
Look at this woman.
Wonderful. Look at that.
this lady.
Look at that.
Holy
That's a great
shit.
T-shirt. It's fucking incredible.
She will
So,
suck
buy
your
yourself a
dick
T-shirt.
and then shoot your neighbor's dog.
Hey, come on. Okay. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and be sure to stick around for a Black Ball podcast.
Yep, and check us out Mondays at 10, Thursdays at 10. We'll see you guys Monday. Stick around for Black Ball podcast. Love ya!
Remember, guys, if you like this podcast, if you like this network, Murder the Media, fucking click subscribe. Do it now. Don't wait. What the fuck are you thinking about it for? Just click the fucking subscribe button. Donate a few lemons. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the programming. And if you like Decentralized Now and you want to help us out further, go to our Patreon page. Patreon.com/decentralizednow. Very easy to find. Go there. Donate money. We need money. We want more money. If you want this show to get better, then we need your money. Give us your fucking money. Why are you waiting? We need it. Go. Get the fuck out of here.